We're talking hoops today. Welcome to the Creator Incorporated podcast. I sat down with the corporate hooper, Will Custis, who has turned down upwards of tens of thousands of dollars of brand deals over the last 6 months. And you might be asking yourself, why would anyone in the world do that? Well, it's because he's starting his own brand. That's right. He's going from just a content creator to now being an entrepreneur and creating his own supplement designed for basketball players. It's called Hoop Fuel. It's pre-workout, and the whole idea is it's the only supplement out there that's for basketball players. He's got this amazing background on how he broke into the New York streetball scene, playing it for tens of thousands of dollars just playing basketball. And it's this whole community of people that are former professional players, and he found his way in there. He talked about he put up 55 points at Rucker Park. Rucker Park is one of the most famous basketball places in the world, and that's where he got his first big break. I'll let him talk about that later on, but very excited for this episode. Stick around, come back to it, do what you got to do, but thanks for watching. Go check us out on Instagram at The Creator Incorporated. This is presented by Breaking and Entering Media. Now, let's get to the show. And that's all I got. Welcome to the Creator Incorporated podcast. I'm joined by Will Custis, also known as the Corporate Hooper. Absolute legend. Pumped to be here. New York streetball legend, putting on for the rest of us. Thanks for coming by.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you having me.
This is going to be fun. I'm excited about this. I was going to say last night before I went to sleep, I did watch your huddle, your high school basketball huddle.
That's throwback.
Yeah, the highlights. I was loving it. I was all in. Some great passes, some great backdoor cuts, just playing the game the right way.
Yeah.
So appreciate that. I don't have a huddle. I was never good enough. But I did play high school basketball, and I'm really happy I was able to sneak that in within the first 10 seconds. But I think best place to start, how would you characterize yourself to someone?
Right now, if you ask me, I would say I'm a content creator now, but first and foremost, I'm very business oriented. We're gonna dive more into kind of it more like the business of content creating and now with basketball. But yeah, I mean, at my heart, I'm just a hooper.
I love it. Yeah. Just a hooper. Have you always been like that? Have you always been basketball been the main sport?
Basketball for me has been the main sport since I was a ninth grader in high school. That's when I started playing. And then ever since, I've just been addicted. And
wow.
Yeah, just been hooping year round since then.
So when you were coming out of high school, were you interested or trying to play collegiately or play at the next level, or what did that look like?
Yeah, so at the end of my senior year, I had a handful of Division III offers to schools like Emory, U Chicago.
Oh, nice.
I was weighing it very just the last 4 years, basketball for me was very there's a lot of politics involved with basketball, organized basketball, and it's just a certain level of seriousness. And I opted. I was just to get out of it. I was I'm done. I don't want to be training this level of seriousness. And I was but I still didn't want to play. So I just went to Wake Forest just to go.
Okay. Nice. Did you grow up around? Where did you grow up?
Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Atlanta, Wake Forest. I don't blame you, by the way.
Yeah.
Because playing D3 basketball there's so much commitment. You're legitimately a professional basketball player.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, but you're obviously good enough to get to that level. So I'm assuming you kept playing.
Yeah, I kept playing, and the big thing, the decision was when I went visits to those schools, the guys in the team basically told me they're it's basketball in school, it's nothing else, and that's what high school had already felt like, and I was wanting more traditional college experience, so I just went to Wake just to go, but I kept playing. I almost walked on, and I saw this the workout schedule, 5 a.m. lifts, and I was I'm good. So I kept playing at Wake Forest. I was on the club team, intramurals, and then I coached the women's club team, so I was still on the court all the time. It's just it was more my speed, my time that I was playing. And
what was your coaching style with the women's club team?
Yeah. My coaching style was I'm probably similar to D'Antoni. I'm big into the 7 seconds or less offense. Particularly just with the skill set and the players we had. Second we could get a good shot off, I was shoot it.
Yeah, I love that because I had a random question. Maybe 2 people will get this or
Yeah.
be interested in this, but I always ask people, what defense would you have if you had a son or daughter, what would you have their 7th grade basketball team? What would their defense be?
Full court press.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would you go man?
Yeah, full court man press, trap any ball screens, just hell, create chaos in the court.
I love it. Because the nuance to that, why I say 7th grade is because if this is like if you know, you know. After 6th grade, for at least in Illinois, after 6th grade, you could start doing full court press.
I didn't know there was a restriction before.
There was, at least in the DuPage
Okay.
parochial league,
Yeah.
there was. You couldn't do full court press until 6th grade or until 7th grade.
Okay.
So that's why I put that nuance there. But I think that says a lot about you too. Full court man press.
Yeah, I mean, even in street ball today on my teams, I want full court man press, 7 seconds or less offense, play fast. Suits my style of game a lot better, and I think it's a more fun, up-paced way of playing.
Yeah, 100%. And I want to talk about that too. How did you break into becoming a street baller in New York? For anyone who is maybe this is your first time meeting Will or hearing about him, he is very much ingrained in the New York street ball community, playing in leagues. And I'm more so curious about like the summer.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear how you got started and broke into that world.
Yeah. So I'll do a bit of a story time here. So when I was moving to New York, I was moving here to run marketing for a sports betting startup, and that was in January of 2023.
Okay.
I still played a lot, but I knew what New York City street ball was when I was moving here. You grow up, you go on YouTube, you're seeing Rucker Park, Kevin Durant there, Kobe. And I knew what this was, and I was like, I want to play in these leagues. But these are highly competitive leagues, former professionals, former college players. So I was like, if I want to play in this, I really didn't know how. Just when I moved here, I just basically made the agreement with myself to train really hard and then just play every day. And anytime I was offered to go play at a run, a league, a team, whatever it was, I always said yes.
Yeah.
So I moved here in January, just started playing all the time. And I always told guys I was playing with, I was like, do you know any of these teams? How can I get involved? And they basically just said you got to play your way into it. So I just kept playing and playing, and it led to me ended up playing in a weekend tournament in Queens, where I got put on a team. They were kind of doubting putting me on. They weren't 100% sure because I'm the new guy. Mm-hmm. But in the elimination round, in the first game of the elimination round, I scored 55. Against a really good team. So it was 55 in a losing effort though, sadly. But the team I hung the 50 on afterwards, they're like, who the hell are you? We've never seen you before. And then I basically just gave them quick, I was like, I just moved here, I'm trying to play. And then they invited me to play on their West Fourth team, which you might know what West Fourth is. It's a really popular street ball league in the West Village, probably the biggest Manhattan-based street ball league. It's sponsored by Nike. It's been around for 40 plus years.
This is when you think of street ball, if you ever played NBA Street Volume 2 on PlayStation, they have that court.
Yeah. I would say if you're not from New York, probably the two biggest street ball leagues are West Fourth and Rucker. Dykeman too are probably the ones, if you're not from New York, you've maybe heard of. So I got invited to play on this West Fourth team. And game 1, they decided to start me, and I had a really good game, 25 in my West Fourth debut. And then that led to someone inviting me to go to an open tryout at Rucker Park. I was like, screw it. So I go to Rucker Park by myself, open tryout. I think there was 40 people there, and they cut it down to 10 the second day. So I made the first cut to the 10, and they were taking 3 out of the 10, and I just that second day shot the lights out up at Rucker. And they made the team. So now I'm playing Rucker Park, and my first Rucker Park game ever, we were playing against Kyrie Irving's team, and Kyrie was the coach. So just crazy experience, ton of fun. And New York street ball, one thing to just state is if you play well in games, guys will see that, and they're going to try to pick you up onto their teams because most of the street ball pro-am tournaments are all money tournaments. Yep. Anywhere ranging from $10,000 to $100,000 for the tournament. So if you're playing well, you're gonna get picked up onto teams, but to initially break in, you just have to keep playing and playing and playing. It's make a name for yourself on the scene.
That is actually insane. Anytime you get money involved, it is legitimately professional basketball.
Yeah.
I imagine some of these people are basing a lot of their income on the fact that they'll win some of these money tournaments.
Yeah.
And like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So you
I would
just
say
played your way in.
Yeah, New York City streetball is not for the weak. I mean, you got to know. I mean, it's a lot of guys from Queens, Harlem, the Bronx, right? Just blue collar guys. So a lot of these check sizes from these tournaments is like significant money. So like they're playing for their bread.
Yeah, I hear you. Does it ever get, I mean, intense on the court? Like, if you ever, a fight breaks out or something crazy, because this is big money.
Yeah, I've never had a fight break out with myself. I've seen a lot of fights. I've seen punches thrown. Most of the bigger tournaments have like police there, so like they'll break it up.
Yeah.
And the tournament definitely tries to like not. They try to stay away from it, but like it's gonna happen. I mean, it's just in heat of summer competition, like it happens. But like for myself, just like as like pretty much like one of the only white guys like in the entire park, I've just learned like keep my mouth shut and just play hard.
Yes.
Like this just is what it is.
Yeah, you're there to hoop. You're there to hoop. That's it. And at these tournaments, I've seen it. I mean, I'm pumped because this is my first time. This next summer will be my first full summer in New York. I fully plan on like going to West Fourth and watching games.
Yeah.
Like there's hundreds of people that come by and watch this league of guys play. Is that weird for you to be playing like in this cage environment? You got like hundreds of people.
No, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it, man.
And because there's like side bets going on. Like I'm just thinking about have you seen the movie White Men Can't Jump?
Yeah, there is some betting going on in New York City streetball. But I love it. I love the energy of the crowd. I love guys heckling. Like that is what makes streetball so unique.
Yeah.
Just the energy and like the aura of it. So like I love it. I think it's like there's nothing like a huge crowd in streetball and like making a good move and getting the crowd.
Dude.
And then I saw an N1 documentary where this was said, but like you get like there is like a white boy boost. Like if 100%. I do like a rim graze or dunk, it's like someone else doing an East Bay 360. Yeah. So like it is fun for me.
It's just not. It's a shock factor.
Yeah.
You don't expect it. And so, is there anyone that you've played with, like any big names? I know you played against a team coached by Kyrie. Have you ever been in like a pro-am where there's a big pro-am pro guy playing?
Lance Stevenson
Yeah.
plays in a lot. Isaiah Whitehead. I mean, they're two like pretty big staples. They actually are starting the first indoor summer pro-am in Brooklyn.
Nice.
For 30 or 50,000. But I mean, it's a lot of former college guys. Yeah. Granted, like, so I didn't grow up here. So like being from Atlanta, I can tell you a lot about like the Atlanta base, like guys who were really good early on, went to college, even had G League careers. Not as much up here. Not as like after a game, someone would be like, oh yeah, like so and so, like he had a stint in the G League or he was over here and all. Right. But like that's also for me like is a little bit of an edge for me here is like I have no preconceived notion of like who I'm playing against. I really have no idea who most guys are. So like I kind of have like a certain level of like confidence factor where like I'm not like thinking like, oh damn, I'm going to play against like so and so today.
Right.
Like I gotta. Right. I'm just thinking another day, another game. Like they got to guard me.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I love that.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
That's awesome. So you get into the street ball life. When do you start thinking, okay, I'll start making content around this? Or were you making content before?
No. So I never made content. I started making content in March of 2024.
Okay.
And like that basically came about because like after like the Rucker Park tryout that summer, continuing to just play like in more tournaments, like around work, I was just like, I don't see anyone else like in the street ball scene that like basically like works a corporate job and is like playing out here at this level. And I was just like, I thought it was unique. And I was like, I need to start capturing content around this. And particularly because like at my job at the time, I had like just started making content for that company.
Oh, cool.
So I was like, I need to start doing this personally. So I started posting in March, learned a bit more about like what made good content.
Right.
And then, the page started to kind of take off. And I've grown it on Instagram to 16,000 followers now. But now that I got a bit better like grasp on content, like coming on like that 1 year mark, like my goal for this year is like break 100,000.
Right. You've got the momentum already, and you've got that base is so crucial. Like I feel like it's probably. What's your experience with going from 0 to like your first 5,000 followers, and then like 5,000 to 16,000? Was one much quicker than the other?
No, I've definitely had like very like steady growth
Nice.
over time. And I'm actually, this is something I kind of don't feel like passionately about, but like I think is important to note as a creator is if you have a massive jump off one video, it's very exciting. but the audience you capture off that one video is going to know you for what is coming out of that particular video.
Right.
So you can kind of like pigeonhole yourself into like what is the brand or the narrative out of that one video. Whereas if you have very like steady growth, the audience is going to grow with your content, and like you have a bit better control over said brand.
Right.
So like I want to have fast growth, but I still want it to be like steady and like controlled.
Yeah, you want it to be for the right reasons.
Yeah.
You want to build a community.
Yeah.
You don't want to get followers just because you have one funny viral clip.
Yeah.
You want to have followers because they're interested in your journey, interested in what you're creating. So does that go back to like the consistency factor? If you're consistently pumping out content with kind of the same goal, same journey, same focus, that's a big part of it.
I mean, when I started content, like I basically made the agreement with myself that I was going to post for a year and try to post every day, and like no matter results, like that's what I was going to do. In college, I was a data and analytics major. That's what I did initially. I was a data analytics consultant at EY. So like I'm measuring like the results of the content, like looking like, all right, here's where I can tweak things. This is where I can potentially get like better results, but like I'm not changing like the brand or what I'm saying. It's just like little small things like within the content itself to make it more digestible.
Yeah. So what would you say is your number one analytic that you look at when you're making content?
So it's a few things. So one, like average watch time is like the most important thing. If you think about it from the social media perspective, they're trying to get people on the platform watching. So if you have videos that have a long watch time, that like benefits them a lot. So I look at average watch time through, and then I look at connected reach versus unconnected reach. That's just followers watching videos versus non-followers. Non-followers is probably weighted slightly more important. Mm-hmm. And then like the big thing, particularly now that I'm into, is % watch time after 3 seconds.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
So like if
3 seconds is that big number?
That's the hook. So like if you can capture someone after 3 seconds, then like you're doing, like in my opinion, you're doing a good job. The hook's the hardest part, like without a doubt. The hook is the hardest part to nail. I'm still working on it a lot. And there's a lot of structures. Like I really try to lean into like storytelling, educational content. Yes. So if you can have a strong hook, and then you can get more into those like storytelling structures of, some type of antagonist or problem, and then you being like the quote unquote hero, overcoming
the conflict.
Yeah, overcoming the conflict. But that hook is, that's like the most important.
How would you create a hook for this podcast to promote this podcast? Let's brainstorm.
Yeah, let's figure this out. It's a Creator Incorporated. The whole idea is hearing about the business of creating content, and then also the stories, like the build up, the hero of creating your own content, and then how you've been able to like turn that into a business, which we'll talk about, or turning it into something where you're creating money and revenue and doing it in a way that makes sense.
Yeah. So for this podcast, there's either going to be like a couple snippets of just like quotes that are coming out of it that could make for a good hook, or it's going to have to be some type of voiceover where we're trying to like make it interesting, whether it's like meet this creator who's never done a brand deal because he decided to start his own company, right? Like things of like that nature. And like when I approach hooks now, I always try to make sure it's like on brand and can like lead into that story, but also like you have to take your mind not just outside of yourself, but also like outside of your followers. You got to think someone who's never seen you, has no idea who you are before, they hit that piece of content. Why are they watching past 3 seconds?
Do you ever ask for feedback from people?
Yeah.
Okay.
So and this is again all recently in the last 2 months. I've connected with How to Hoop Forever, who's another basketball content creator, and he's also like a huge marketing guru, like top LinkedIn voices for marketing. And then Trey Phils is another guy who's like gotten pretty big. They've been in the space for like 3 years now. So like we're all in a group chat together, and like we kind of just like bounce ideas off each other, send videos for quality checks. And like I would say the number one piece of feedback we're always hitting each other with is just like hook.
Yep.
But the one thing with the hook now that I'll definitely say that's like new that I'm starting to look into is Instagram just launched trials.
Right.
Use trials.
So yeah, trials is where you can post. It's, if I'm doing this correctly, you post a reel and it only goes to your unconnected reach.
Yeah. So it goes to non-followers only. I just started using it this week. I'm personally really excited about it. But like, if you have a piece of content, you're launching, it can be with this podcast, right? We're trying to figure out what the best is. I would pick 3 hooks, and I would put them all into the trial reels. You can't collab with trials, is it wrong? But like, still, you could still use trials with the AB. I would pick 3 with 3 different hooks, put them all through trial, and then I'd come back 6 hours later and see just how they're all performing, see which one's getting better 3-second view time, see which one's getting more engagement. If we're wanting to collab it, then I would take them all down and just pick the one that performed better and we collab it. Or if you're not collabing it with content, then you see the one that's performing better, you take down the other 2, and then you officially post the one that's performing the best on your grid. This is a phenomenal feature that people are not talking about enough. Like that you can A/B test organic content is amazing.
That's what I was just gonna say, because now you can
Clip it.
You can figure out exactly what. If you are changing just one thing of each of the video, it could be the same 3 videos, but one thing is different. The hook is different on each one, and then you see which one performs better. And now, like, for you as like a data analytics guy, you're probably loving this because now you see, okay, this hook performed best. I'm gonna keep using this hook. Versus like being like, oh, I don't know why this video didn't get the reach I want it to. And there's a million things I could change about it. But just iterating each one. That is dope.
In my opinion, like, always stay on brand. Like, you don't want to get too caught up like in the algorithm and like all this extra stuff. Like
the gaming.
The gaming of it. Like, don't like gamify content that much. But like, if it's just a simple changing the first 3 seconds of a video or your voiceover, and it doesn't take you that much time to do, like, you might as well do it because like they're offering it, and like anytime Instagram, TikTok, any social network releases a new feature, they're also trying to test that feature, so they're going to reward you for using it.
Yeah, that's I put on my tinfoil hat for that one too. Like, if they put out a feature, I'm gonna go do it. Because I know that they're gonna promote that over something else. So we've kind of teed it up. We've been kind of building to it, but I think the best way to ask this is kind of laying it out there. You've turned down, what you said, over $20,000 of brand deals over the last 3-4 months.
That's like 6 months.
Last 6 months. That's a lot of money. Why would you freaking do that?
So here's why right here. I can bring the story of this, but I've decided to create my own supplement brand specifically targeted for basketball players called Hoop Fuel. If you look at my page, like, I try to take the approach. Like, I've been working. I worked a very formal corporate job at EY for 3 years, and then I was head of growth at a sports betting startup for 2 years. Like, that's where like the corporate hooper comes. I'm trying to like really promote like work basketball balance, show you how you can do both, and how like the adult basketball scene is still really awesome. But like when I was gearing up for this last summer, I'm a really big like health and wellness fitness junkie. I just like express it through basketball. I have like no interest in long distance running or just like straight bodybuilding. So I started like diving more into like my nutrition and like products that I wanted, and I was just so shook. I could not find like any brand targeted to basketball, and like it is such a massive community, and it is an athletic based community. Now, granted, like there are like supplement brands that I would take for basketball, like mix and match here and there, but like nothing is targeted to the basketball community, and there is no supplement specifically made and formulated for basketball players. So I reached out to a friend of mine who actually lives here in the city and I went to college with. He's academically studied in health and exercise and nutritional science in undergrad, and I was like, dude, I want to make a brand around this. I was like, I think we should start creating a supplement brand for this. We started talking about ideas, and we decided to move forward with this in July of 2024. And now we're here in January of 2025, and we're launching Monday of this upcoming week. So
oh my god, so it'll be out by the time this comes out. Hoop Fuel will be out. So go get Hoop Fuel.
So Hoop Fuel will be out. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. Like I've taken a lot different like approach to being a creator now, not doing the brand deals, and even my content moving forward. Like I want my content to kind of focus on 3 things. Like 1, building this business and like really going like the behind the scenes of like why I'm making certain marketing decisions, why I'm partnering with certain people, like what are like the biggest steps and like tools I'm using to like scale this, not just scale it, but bootstrap it from $0 to wherever it ends up going. So like that's one thing I want to focus on. Still keeping like the fitness of basketball, how to train as an adult, and then still capturing like the street ball scene and just like me playing it. Those are kind of the three things like I'm gonna be like my page is gonna be about.
Yep.
But then also I'm really excited to like grow and scale like the Hoop Fuel brand and pages, because like I'm using the Corporate Hooper to like kick off this brand, but like Hoop Fuel, I don't know, it will not. I'm making sure it's not like, oh, that's the Corporate Hooper's brand.
Right.
Like I want Hoop Fuel to be its own independent thing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So like there's certain things that they're gonna go along with that, and particularly one of the reasons I'm excited about this is like over the last 2 years is like I've gotten so connected to this community, not just within New York, but like kind of like the influencer basketball community. That like as I've begun like reaching out to people from like leagues, trainers, influencers for partnerships to get this in their hands, talking about like content strategy for like what they compose UGC campaigns with micro influencers, is like I've gotten so connected that like executing on this is like actually very possible.
Right.
And like the really like awesome thing, and it shows you how great like the basketball community is a lot of like larger influencers who might charge like significant fees are just like basically offering like goodwill to like help out to like get this off the ground. So like beyond appreciative of that, and like super excited to like scale this up.
It's sweet. I think it makes a ton of sense. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to try it. I was gonna ask, I just saw you're doing a partnership with a league in New York. Can you talk a little bit about that? Is this kind of the first big partnership that you're doing?
Yep. So gonna be rolling out a lot of different league partnerships. This first partnership is with the Dynasty League here in Manhattan. It's been around for over 25 years. I would say it's probably like the top New York City like indoor league outside of like the summer leagues.
Yeah.
They have over 50 teams in the league between 5 different divisions. The premier division that I normally play in is like basically all former college and professional players. It's a ton of fun. So I developed a bit of a relationship with the guys who run that league. When I was making this, I reached out. I was like, hey, I'd love to like sponsor the league, have it be like the first official brand partnership, and they agreed, which is awesome. So like how we structured the deal is we're given like a very exclusive and large discount to like every player in the league, and then every week there's 3 players of the week that are going to be getting a free thing of Hoop Fuel. So it's a great brand activation and like a ton of content opportunities coming out of this, which is going to be beneficial for both parties. And yeah, I'm just really excited. So like the first one, there's going to be a ton of like from the street ball leagues, and there's like other leagues that go on around New York City. But like I definitely want to partner with the Dynasty League first, particularly just because like their cachet in New York, and just it's a really well run league.
Yeah, I just see the opportunity because all those players in the Dynasty League are surely playing in other leagues.
Yeah.
And they're playing with all the other hoopers. And so just from this league alone, you're like creating this web that you already probably have built up to your community, but it's just it's a great way to go about it. I mean, so talk to me a little bit more about like Hoop Fuel. What would you say makes it, basketball specific? Because I still play a little bit, but
yeah. So I'll dive into like a few angles here. So like one, like very transparent ingredients. Like I think any supplement brand that's putting complexes, proprietary blends, like I will not have it. As an athlete, you should know exactly the exact ingredients and the exact amounts you're putting into your body. So like 1, transparent. 2, very clean ingredients that your body actually can utilize. A lot of supplements or sports drinks or any just general health and wellness products that you might be taking. Supplement industry is not FDA regulated.
Oh yeah.
So you can make very just like ridiculous marketing claims.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like I could make something and be like, this is gonna make you jump 5 inches higher and you're gonna average 20. Like
I would love if you started telling people you'll average 25 a game.
Right. Like, like you could, but so like very clean ingredients that your body like actually can utilize. And like the reason you're probably not going to see these ingredients and ratios in other sports drinks is because like if it were like quote unquote in a Gatorade, like Gatorade might have to charge like $6 or $7 like out of a retailer because of all the different like layers of just distributors to make money. So like one, like we're D2C, so like we're able to deliver this at affordable price. So yeah, and just like everything we tailored to like based on research of like athletes, particular basketball player. Like we tailor like the exact ingredients like to basketball performance and post-game recovery. We're launching with 2 drinks, one being a hydration mix and the other being like a pre-workout. We're calling it performance that you would take before you play. I'm like obsessed with both products, and these are gonna be the first 2 that we launch, we scale, but like we already have like in the backlog that we're working with the manufacturer, a protein, a longevity, like joint, and then like a sleep, and then we could even get into like like runners take the gels. We could create like halftime gels. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity, but like just want to focus on these 2, scale these up, really scale the brand. And I'm really excited about it. I mean, the amount of like basketball players, trainers, sports nutritionists have been like reaching out about this to me has been like very promising and exciting. So yeah, I mean, the next couple of months are going to be a fun time, and it's going to be a grind. Yeah,
it's just in time for summer. All right, that's sweet. I have a couple quick rapid fire, but Gino's got his hand up.
Yeah, I love supplements. I love pre-workout. I take it every day before I lift. I don't play basketball that often. In summertime, I crush Jack one-on-one a couple times. I got the whey protein over there.
I love it.
I'm crushing like 6 scoops of that. It's probably not healthy.
Yeah.
But for the this is kind of like a pre-workout for hoopers, correct?
Yeah, so I would say like the ingredients in this and the ratios are like tailored to like before you would play basketball, with like being like more hit style, like your heart rate's going to be more jacked up. A lot of pre-workouts with the amount of caffeine or like beta alanine in them, like you feel like you're about to sprint through a wall. Like I would not want to feel like that before I play. So like how I describe like the pre-workout is you're going to get like you're going to feel like just like explosive and ready to go, but like it's not going to jack your heart rate up.
Sure.
Which is like the big thing. And you're going to feel like locked in. So like if you know what alpha GPC is, we put some alpha GPC in. It's like a choline derivative that's going to like help with mental acuity.
Oh, I need that.
Yeah. So
I might take that just before work.
Yeah. So it's a few things. So like, I mean, I'll speak to it really quick. So we put a hydration mix in here to get you a little hydrated, just because like a lot of the research we looked at was actually like 80% of athletes are actually dehydrated before they even play. And then we put a few ingredients in here from L-citrulline to vasodrive AP that kind of help with like blood flow, available oxygen in your blood. We put some betaine anhydrous, I think I'm pronouncing it right, and that's going to kind of make you feel like more explosive and twitchy. And then we have some taurine in it for like additional like absorption, and then just like bodies like electrolyte balance. The alpha GPC is again to help with the mental acuity, and then we put 100 milligrams of caffeine in it. So
that's what I want to know.
Yeah, so we're not jacking it up too much. I know a lot of pre-workouts typically are around that 200 to 400 range. I want this to be like a light cup of coffee. So like I said, like when I've taken this the times before I've played, like I just feel like I'm like activated quicker, and like I'm just like ready to go.
And if you're a corporate hooper, you're probably going to be dehydrated from work. Like, you drink coffee all day, you forget to drink water, you're coming from the office, it's a long day.
Yep.
Like, this is exactly what you would need to, give it the juice, but also you're not going to, like, it sounds like you're not going to stay up till 4 a.m.
Yeah, I don't want to, jack guys up that much. And, I mean, I even thought about
just double your scoop.
We were debating even putting caffeine in this in general. And, like, ultimately, we probably will launch with a non-caffeinated version. But yeah, I mean, a lot of thought is like you come off a 8 or 9 hour work day, and you're going to your league game at 7 p.m. Like, you're gonna be a little tired, right? You're just kind of like mentally out of it. Take this, you're gonna feel like prime Russell Westbrook before you jump in a game, which is
25 a game.
Yeah,
right
you're
I'll
ready
make
to go.
The claims for you.
Yeah, and then the hydration one. I mean, this is just it's three ingredients. It's pink Himalayan sea salt, magnesium glycinate, and potassium chloride. And then the last differentiating factor is we put like 0.5 gram of taurine in it. But no other ingredients in this. Really simple, high quality high quality ingredients, and like the ratios are like based on like what you roughly lose in an hour of playing basketball, which is roughly probably like 1 to 1.5 liters of sweat, with a similar like electrolyte breakdown.
And, is that fruit punch I see there?
Yeah, this is fruit punch. So only one flavor for this, and then for the hydration, we went with lemon citrus and blood orange.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, lemon's the best Gatorade flavor.
Yeah,
it's
definitely tastes
I don't
similar
drink
to
Gatorade anymore. I stopped drinking Gatorade. I drink Hoop Fuel now. So
I'm in.
Yeah, ready.
Converted.
It's freaking sold. Let's do rapid fire before we wrap it up.
All right, let's go.
All right, so this is all gonna be like basketball stuff. Let's try and do number 1 pump up song before you're going to play at West 4th.
Number one pump up song before I'm going to play at West Fourth. Firework.
What's that?
Katy Perry.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Dude, you're not doing yourself any favors with being the only white guy on the car.
You got to own it.
You got to own it. Number one dream influencer or like basketball player to be using Hoop Fuel?
Dream influencer.
Or like a basketball player, like NBA player. You see them drinking it like before the game.
Josh Hart.
Okay.
Yeah, NBA player, Josh Hart. I mean, like ultimately, like I've had a lot of potential guys who are wanting to invest in advisors. Like ultimately, like this would be an awesome product if I can scale this and get the business and everything and margins right for an NBA player to come throw their name on it, call it their brand that I just run.
Exactly.
That's like long term vision. But Josh Hart, because that dude is just like a workhorse and he's definitely dialed in.
Oh yeah, that'd be a great one. I can see it now. You courtside, me in the 300 level, taking a video. And then let's think. I don't know. Did I ask you who your NBA player comp is?
My NBA player comp. I've gotten Gordon Hayward before.
That's fair.
Like Utah Jazz.
Good shooter.
Gordon Hayward, shooter, downhill, athletic, plays hard. I mean, my favorite player is LeBron, but I'm not playing like LeBron. I really like Austin Reeves' game, but like I can't like handle and shift guys the way he does.
Yeah.
So like Gordon Hayward's a good one. Grayson Allen. I'm just naming white guys right now, but like I mean these are good shooters, athletic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Play hard. I love it. And then this is my last one, but I like this question. Given like your athleticism, your game right now, how tall would you need to be in the NBA?
6'7".
6'7".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6'7".
6'7" is the number.
Yeah. If I was 6'7", like with my current metrics, I don't think I would have an opportunity.
You would be slamming.
Yeah. No, I would be punching it and easier to get your jump shot off, bigger, stronger. Yeah.
Do you think that's guaranteed? You're 6'7", you're guaranteed you're playing in the NBA.
I want to say guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
I want to say guaranteed, but like I think a lot of basketball players have a delusional confidence. But like if I'm 6'7", I think like the opportunity is there, right? Like I probably play Division I, maybe get like a G League shot, do some stuff overseas. Opportunity would be there.
I could see it. I would say I'd have to be 7'1".
Yeah,
that would be like my number. Because if I can,
if you're above 7 feet in the U.S., there's like a 10-15% chance you're in the NBA.
Yeah, in the NBA. That's the craziest part. Not just professional. So I wonder what it is like if just playing professional ball. Yeah. If you're American and you're over 7 feet, what's the percentage of people playing professional basketball either overseas or in America? Is there a stat we're gonna see?
What's the number there? What am I looking up?
7% of 7-footers in America playing professional basketball. That's it. That should be the Google search. I think it could be like 30%.
Yeah.
I think if there's no way.
About 17% of NBA players are 7 feet or taller. That's not the right thing.
All right. Well, Gino figures that out. Okay. Well, let's finish it with your all-time starting five.
Yeah. All-time starting five.
So let's start at point guard. Who you got? Steph at the one.
Well, okay. Well, LeBron's my point guard. Okay. But, like I know he's like not like point. So like LeBron's the point.
These are all prime, like in their prime.
Prime.
Yeah, all in their prime. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bron is like people will say he's like the 3 or whatever, but he's running point for you.
He's running point for me. Yeah.
Bron's running point. So is Steph still?
Steph's 2.
Steph's the 2. 2 is Steph, and then who's running? Who else is on there with you?
Jordan.
Okay. MJ.
Yep.
MJ's out there.
And then Kevin Durant.
And
then Shaq.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are going to throw me shade for no Kobe. I'm just thinking like complexion of the build out. Like I have.
Yeah.
MJ.
Yeah.
So Kobe can be 6 man, right? I'll have Kobe as 6 man.
Mm-hmm. He'll play like that Harden role on the OKC team.
Yeah.
He'll play like starter minutes, but just you can't have those 2 alphas.
Yeah, I can't have. Well, I already got the skill. I don't need duplicative skill sets with the group. So I got MJ out there, got LeBron running the point, Steph, KD, knockdown shooters, blitz scorers, Shaq, mad dominant, brings defensive edge. It's a good defensive group too outside of Steph, right? Like we can hide Steph on defense.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, so run it back. You're top 5, starting 5 all time, corporate hooper. He's got Bron running the point, Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, Kevin Durant, and Shaq.
Yeah.
That's a tough team to beat. Well, appreciate it. Yeah. Will, thank you so much for coming around.
It's been fun.
For hanging out. We're a Hoop Fuel podcast now.
Let's go.
I want to make that very clear. This is a Hoop Fuel podcast. If you let us, we'll put it right there all the time.
There we go.
What? But I appreciate it, man.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Fun.
It is it's NBA. If you're over 7 feet, or if you're 7 feet or over, it's 17% chance. So we could probably assume that it's like 25-30% chance playing professional. Yeah. That's my Geno fact.
Thanks. All right. Sweet.
All right. Awesome.